Hey, you guys, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Liz, and this is the Besties and the Books podcast. Welcome! Welcome in to our first official Halloween-y, fall-ish themed episode. We love fall over here. We love cozy things over here. We're Halloween girls, and so we're pumped on this episode.
We got our Halloween swag on. Liz has her new Halloween shirt from who? Who's that one from?
This one's from Dark and Disturbed Shop. So, yeah, super cute.
A little sassy,
like
pumpkin jack-o'-lantern lady.
Yeah.
You know?
Hot ghoul fall. That's what
Hot ghoul. Oh, cute.
Yeah.
And then I have the dancing book pumpkins from Book Babe Designs, which I'm pretty sure she's bringing back for a third year, I think. And I love this. It's
That's so cute.
Like, perfect way it hangs. You know, in case you ever want us to know what we're wearing, because we always try to make it book related or like theme related at the very least. And it's always in the description box, because we always like to try to shop our indie... I always forget the
shops.
words.
Yeah, like little book shops, like indie book shops.
People.
Yeah. Book merch stuff shops.
Yeah, and things. Sometimes beanies, sometimes hats, sometimes candles, who knows, all of things.
All the stuff.
You can check that out. If you're ever like, oh, what shirt is that? Check the description box. We got it there. We'll hook you up. We'll let you know who it is.
Lots of times we got coupon codes in there for you too, guys.
Yeah,
so
who doesn't love a discount?
Yep. So anyway.
Someone out there, I hate discounts.
I know, someone. I know. There's always someone got to be mad about something, you know? So it's not just an episode about fall in general.
It's not.
We are not just going to tell you all of our favorite things about fall for the next hour. We are actually going to share our 5 spooky season book recommendations for you guys.
Yeah.
So 5 books each that each of us would recommend, kind of put you into that the fall feeling, you know?
Yeah, we just want to get you ready for the fall vibes, because we know it's early, but Liz and I talked about it. It's never too early. So we're getting ready.
We're pretending right now because it's still very summery. However, I'm in the fall state of mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And who isn't? Raise your pumpkin spice latte if you feel us, you know?
Totally. I've got my Starbucks cup right here.
Ooh,
here we go. Yeah.
There you go. And I just poured my first pumpkin spice mocha of the season. I'm not a pumpkin spice latte girl, but I do love the pumpkin spice mixed with chocolate. You know? Just got to try it. I make it with my Nespresso. So I love it. I cracked it open. It's so good.
You need to make me one. Ashley, when I go down to Ashley's house, she always makes me my favorite coffees. But you didn't make me anything pumpkin-y. I'm not a pumpkin spice person, but I feel like you might be able to convert me if you make me your favorite little concoction. So when I'm down there in October, we need to remember.
Rise to the challenge. I accept it. I accept your challenge. Do you like cinnamon?
I do like cinnamon.
Okay, so that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be
You just
great.
you just have to not be opposed to those kind of flavors. And if you do right, that's why if you just try a PSL latte, it's too much. It's too sweet. Starbucks oversweetens everything. I always cut any recipe they have in half because it's too dang sweet. So if you're going to, I'm pretty sure when this episode goes out, Starbucks has their pumpkin menu out, their fall menu. So if you're wanting to try the pumpkin mocha, what I do is I like to get iced right now because it's still so hot. And I get it, I just order, I do a latte, but I add maybe 2 shots of pumpkin, 1 shot of mocha. Or else they put 5 freaking pumps of pumpkin in there.
Too much.
It's just drinking syrup.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's even my favorite holiday drink. This is just our favorite holiday drink.
You know what? We're just getting them ready. We're getting you guys comfortable, getting you fall. We're going to talk about some of our favorite fall things.
Yep.
So don't worry about it.
Yeah, so it's my favorite holiday drink from Starbucks, if you will, is a peppermint mocha. However, they put so much mocha in there. It's I always have to say, do half the chocolate, because it's I can't deal with it's like sludge at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's so thick. Yeah. So gross.
If I do a grande, it's maybe 2 and 2 at the most. That's pushing it. Maybe 1. It's a 1 to 2 ratio of whatever.
Yeah,
syrups.
and I'm like extra picky now because like my sister got me like the super fancy for Christmas last year. She got me like the super fancy like Breville like espresso like coffee maker thing. And so now I've like perfected how I like to make my coffees.
Yeah.
So now if I'm ever like out and I want to give myself a little treat, you know, like my sister and I generally will go shopping for Halloween decorations. Like, it's like the one time a year I go to the mall, right? Is like when the Halloween store's up, like they've got the cute stuff at Michael's, whatever, we'll go to the mall. And I like to get myself a little treat. And it's probably going to be like some type of like, you know, holiday drink. And yeah, it's like I am so picky now because of the fact that I make them at home that now I have to have it dialed in. So yeah, half the mocha is the key because otherwise it's too much.
Make it at home, and it's a fraction of the cost.
Yeah.
It's great, too.
It's great.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so
let's know your favorite fall drinks. Why not? Let's go, guys.
I know. Well, we'll have to have a standoff between Peppermint Mocha and PSL to see who wins.
They're different. No, because I love both equally, but different times of year.
You have to choose.
No, that's rude. No, I want peppermint mocha. I will have starting the day after Thanksgiving.
Oh, see, I'm peppermint mocha, like whenever I feel like it.
I mean, I'll have it all year, but I mean, if we're talking fall drinks, I'll stay. I want to make myself sick of pumpkin by Thanksgiving, and I do. You'll be happy to know that I do. Every year, I burn myself out.
I just don't like PSLs. They taste like candles to me. So that's why I'm like, you know.
Right.
I need you to make
like
me
you've
one.
only had theirs off the menu, right?
Yeah.
So I'll convert you.
Yeah,
I will. Because I also don't like those.
Yeah.
Those are
you know what I did like? If we're just going to keep going.
Why not?
You know what I did
what you've signed up for.
Is my headphones just like loosened. It's like my brain just expanded.
Ooh, you got smarter. Wow, you saw it here, guys.
Like,
I've always wondered what that looks like.
That was so weird. It's like something happened to my brain when I talked about Starbucks too much. It got bigger. You would think my brain would get smaller, but it actually got bigger. And like
big brain.
I could literally hear my headphones popping
weird.
out. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so no, what I love is the lesser known drink, which is the apple crisp caramel drink or whatever the heck that was. It's so good. It sounds disgusting. But
it
it's
just
so
confuses me when they put fruit with coffees.
Right.
And I'm allergic to apples, so I can't try it.
Yeah.
Dang it. So I'm happy for you, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I'll never understand. I can't.
And that's the thing. I was worried about it too. Like I was like, I don't know, this sounds pretty gross. But I ordered it because I was like, this will be my like special drink or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think I took it when my husband and I went to the pumpkin patch last year, and it was delicious. So don't be afraid to try the apple drink if they bring that back, because it sounds gross, but it's actually quite delicious and good.
Yeah. Yeah, they try putting like watermelons with coffee and stuff, and it's just like, what's going on? What's happening here?
I know.
Yeah, but I think it's I bet it's more cinnamon-y. Is it cinnamon?
It is, and it doesn't to me taste like a candle, which is what I was worried about. It just tastes like a nice, like, I don't know, like a nice fall day, you know?
Yeah,
like in a
I
good
love
way.
that.
Yeah.
You guys, I hope you're feeling the fall vibes. We're trying to set the mood for you, set the scene. Think of oranges and reds and cranberry colors. Okay.
Think of, I don't know, I was going to say ghosts and
enter chainsaws and crow sounds on purpose this time.
Yeah,
not
there you
just
go.
our normal throughout the year.
That's
your long
noise.
sounds. Yeah, that's not the spoiler noise. Liz isn't jumping in to hit you with that. No spoilers today.
No spoilers today. And we are also going to be sharing 5 each of our fall hopefuls.
Yeah,
like 5 books on our TBR, specifically though in the like kind of spooky fall Halloween vibes, kind of genre or around there. So yeah, if that interests you, stick around. But before we get into that, we just want to say thank you for being here.
Thanks for being here, you guys, and still sticking around through this intro, trying to warm you guys up and cool you guys down for fall at the same time. Make sure to like and subscribe, follow anywhere you like to listen to your favorite podcasts, including YouTube, where you can watch the YouTube version of this video if you so choose, which we are, like, it's actual video. It's not just like a logo. It's us. You can see our hand movements, and like we said, our weird shirts, not our weird shirts, our great shirts, our weird hand movements, and all that stuff.
Come talk to us. Like,
come talk to us, especially on Instagram.
Like
you
we're
can
there.
DM us. Yeah. That way you can contribute. Like I said, send us your favorite drinks. We'll have a drink fight over on Instagram stories. PSL versus peppermint mocha, whatever.
Yeah.
And smash or passes, guys. Yeah. We know you love those.
I've got a good one for Ashley today too, so stick around to the end for that one.
I have a seasonal appropriate one.
Oh, good! I'm excited.
So, there we go. Mm-hmm. That's Besties in the Books podcast. We'll see you there.
Or another time.
But don't leave yet, because we still have a long way to go. Let's go.
That's the end of the episode, actually. We just talked about drinks, and now we're done.
We're a barista podcast now.
Yeah. Great. So, all right, let's start off with some faves and fails of the week.
Okay, so you go first.
I'll
lead
go
the way.
First. Yeah. So mine is all one story.
Oh, right.
So it's a journey of failure, but then it ultimately ended in a fave.
I love that. I do. I love a good redemption story.
A good redemption story. And it really isn't that bad, guys. It's just stupid and silly. Okay, so backstory. I have worn glasses since I was 3 years old. So my mom discovered that I needed to wear glasses because I was holding all of my little kid books way too close to my face. So I was a little kid with the glasses. Yeah. So about 7 years ago, I finally had LASIK done. And I love it. It's great. It's like literally one of the best things I've ever done. I'm so happy I did it. If you're considering doing LASIK, do it, or DM us and I'll convince you to do it. It's like so worth it. So there's my plug for LASIK. Anyways, so
let's get that sponsored. Jeez.
Yeah, right. It's like all of a sudden it's just all these ads for getting LASIK. I mean, really, that's our demographic right there. Is it not?
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah.
Okay, so the other piece of this story. Okay, so here we have me. I got LASIK done 7 years ago. Okay. The other piece of this story is for some reason, I cannot do anything with the DMV online. Okay? Nothing. No one can explain to me why. No one knows why there's a problem on my account. Knock on wood, I've never even had a ticket in my life, guys. And I can't do anything through the DMV portal, okay? Last year, I literally had to make an appointment to pay my registration in person.
Well, that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Not even the little kiosks at the grocery store?
Nope. Like, literally, I had to go to a person. And this guy's like, what? I'm like, I know. I'm not 95 years old. They won't let me do it. Like, they literally won't let me do it.
That's so weird.
And I told him, I was like, this is getting ridiculous. Like, why? And no one knows. And it's not just registration. It's like I've never been able to renew my license online. My husband's like, why don't you just do it online or mail the thing back in? I'm like, no, I can't. It specifically says on mine, make an appointment to go in person. Every single time I have to go in, they make me take a new picture. They make me do the eye exam every time. And it's kind of a joke because at this point, I mean, I'm like going to be 36 this year. I've probably had at least like 5 driver's license photos. Yeah. It's weird. And so, sure enough, I get my renewal thing or whatever. Like, I know that I need to renew my license. September is my birthday, so it's coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be this week, actually. The video goes up. Everybody say happy birthday. Yes, happy birthday. I think. I don't know. Sorry. I don't remember the schedule, but I think it's around that time. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
You can, I can't look it up. You're on my phone.
It could be this day.
It's the 4th of December. Okay. It's the 4th of December. The 4th of September. Okay. So, 4th of September. So, anyways, I'm thinking like, okay, I've noticed over the course of the last year or so that my sight from far away is not as crisp as it once was. Which I know, it's been 7 years since I got LASIK. It's been a while. And so I'm like, I'm just going to go into my eye doctor, get my eyes checked, see if I need glasses or whatever, because I know I'm going to have to go. It's my worst fear. I'm going to go into the DMV to take my eye exam and I'm going to fail it. This is what, because I have to take it every time. Yeah. And I'm like, I know it's coming up. So I go have my eye exam. He's like, yeah, you could wear glasses or not. He's like, your eyes, are they as good as they were when you first got them done? No, but they're also not terrible. So he's like, you have a very minor prescription. I'm like, all right, well, I want to cover all of my bases. So I ordered glasses. They're so cute. I love them. But, I'm not wearing them all the time because I don't need to. Just basically, he said if I'm wanting to wear them while I'm driving or at the movie theater where it's kind of far away, whatever. Yeah. So I do all these things. I get in with my eye doctor, have an appointment, order my glasses, make sure to go pick them up, all this stuff. Meanwhile, I decide, okay, I'm going to go in. I'm just going to check and see if I can, if I can renew my driver's license online, right? I kid you not. I log into my account and it's like, you have to renew your license. I'm like, yeah, I know. And usually what's always happened in the past is I click it and it says make an appointment. You have to go in person. I literally click it. It's like pay $40. I'm like, okay, I pay $40. I'm like, okay, you're good.
Ooh.
I know. So it was like one of those things where it's the fave and fail because for the first time in my entire life, I've been driving for 20 years because I'm going to be 36 this year. I've been driving for 20 years. I was able to do something online with the DMV. I got my ID in the mail, so it actually worked, okay? Because I was also afraid that it was like a glitch and I would just never get it. I got it in the mail, so everything's good. I got new glasses, but the fail was just that I was like doing all these things, so I was so afraid that I was gonna like have to take this eye exam and then not pass. And you know, I mean, it's ultimately good because I got a lot of stuff done that maybe otherwise I wouldn't have done. But it was just funny because I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do all these things, and then it ended up just being so easy.
Yeah, you did all this prep work because they've freaking beated you down so much. And then you didn't even need to do it necessarily. But if you didn't do it, you would have needed to do it. Because that's just the way it goes. You know? So.
Exactly. So yeah, that's my fave and fail. I have glasses now. Sometimes I might end up wearing them. We'll see. But they are very cute. Yeah.
Cute.
So what do you have for us this week?
My fave and fail is very simple. My fail is that a week went by and I don't even know what happened. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what day it is. And
same.
All week. So I don't know. The fail is just that it was chaotic. It's back to school when we're filming this. So we came back from the cruise and I had to hit the ground running. I got pick up our kids. So my fave was actually picking up my kids and then being excited and spending the first day or two with them, like just hanging out around town and just talking about their week that we were gone and telling about our trip and everything and just kind of reconnecting. So that was a fave. Easy. Cool. And then the fail was what ensued after that 1 or 2 days because I got all the laundry done and everything. And then I don't know what happened after that. It was just chaos, back to school shopping. I'm prepping for my sister's baby shower. And then all of a sudden I'm here and it's the next week and it's Monday and school starts tomorrow. So that's it. That's all there is to my story is just crazy time of life. I'm ready to get back on the normal daily routine coming off of summer. So I'm so excited for fall for multiple reasons, but also just, we're routine people, even though routine can get mundane. Like I can't read any of maybe that's my fail is I have 19 books going and I can't finish any of them.
Yeah, I'm feeling
I'm finishing
that
the Harry Potter ones. Our fail, I still haven't finished Hurricane Wars. I mean, by the time this is posted, it has to be finished. I need to have been done, as well as we're already filming this and it's mid-August and I need to read A Feather So Black.
Which is amazing. I mean, the good news about that, though, is that Hurricane Wars and A Feather So Black are both so good that it's at least they're so good. Because if they weren't good, it would be even harder to try to get through this. Yeah.
But Hurricane Wars is challenging for me. Because of all the words and the jargon.
I could see
we'll see. Hopefully, I need to get it done this week somehow. So I got 70% to go. So it's great.
It'll happen.
I'm not freaking out. You're freaking out.
No,
so,
it's fine.
Meanwhile,
It'll be fine.
I'm going to add 5 more books to my list today. So, welcome to the life of a reader. You guys know what it's up. You guys know.
But we love it. It's like without it, life would have no meaning. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, but seriously, it helps. It helps for sure.
It does. I love it. It's the kind of chaos that I do like, but I want to make sure that I'm staying on top of book club, Yeah. So as well.
I know, I just put up the vote today not the vote, but the little question box. It was like, what are we going to read for next month? I'm like, guys, I'm still working on this month and last month. So, but we have to be caught up before we start that. So it's okay. It'll be fine. But I mean, we've been reading one epic fantasy after another epic fantasy after another epic fantasy, which I love, but I'm like, can we just read some smut in September, please, God? Please, Lord.
That's the hard thing is it's all the book club books have been epic fantasies, which we love. We love it. But it's restarting, and we have so many open series going on too.
I know. So that's why I'm okay, here, I'll just I mean, I don't know if this will go out way later, but I'm just going to put this out into the universe. It's going to be my birthday month book, September month book. So like, let it be smutty September. Smutty September.
There you go.
I'm making it a thing. Okay. So, all right. So should we get into, and this is spoiler-free episode, guys, like Ashley said before, so don't worry about that. You guys can just stick around. Should we get into our top 5 recommendations for all of you guys going into spooky season?
Let's do it. It's time, guys. Get your notepads out, your pen and papers, and get ready to write down some book recommendations. Or let us know if you've read these and how you felt about them.
Yeah. Exciting. Yep. Okay, so let's see. You want me to start?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So my first book recommendation is Mayfly by C.J. Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a little bit of, I'd say, feminist horror, it's amazingly good. Great plot, great themes. Check trigger warnings. It does have some fairly disturbing content. But it was a 5-star read for me through and through from the start to the finish. And it's a real page turner. It's not very long, so you could probably blow through it in a day or two. But it's excellent. It's CJ Lee's first book, too, that she's ever written. It's her debut, and it was amazing. I will also put a little plug in for her new book, so this is going to be her second book. It's called American Rapture. It is a dystopian, zombie apocalypse novel, and that one comes out. So I read an arc of that earlier this year, but it comes out this October. So if you read Mayfly and you're like, whoa, that was really good. I really like C.J. Lee's writing style. I'm looking for some more feminist horror. American Rapture does come out in October. So you'll have something else to look forward to. Mm-hmm. And just to give you guys a little bit of an idea of like what Mayfly is about without giving too much away, it's basically about a female serial killer who works as Elsa at Disneyland by day.
Come on. That has to get you.
Come on. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's go, guys.
So that's my first book, Mayfly by C.J. Lee. What do you got? What's your first recommendation for spooky season?
I have a classic here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I busted out the old classic, Haunted by Chuck Palahniuk.
I have my books down here too. I didn't know if we were showing them all or not.
Sometimes I show them, sometimes I don't. You never know what you're gonna get. So. This is, look at how dirty and dusted this one is, man. It's yellow.
Mine was right here. I was able to just grab it.
Nice. See? Yeah. Don't leave them too far. So, if you're not familiar with Chuck Palahniuk, get familiar with him.
Guys, I have to do a humble brag.
Oh, that's your signed copy?
That's my signed copy. Yeah.
Nice. We fell in love with him in high school, his writing in high school. Liz turned me on to him. Liz turned him on, and the rest was history.
Yeah. You didn't know?
So this was probably my third or fourth, probably the third book that I read from him. And it's great. It is very dark and disturbing. So it's your more mentally disturbing kind of book. It's a group of, I think it's 17 writers. They go onto a secret writing retreat and hold themselves up in this kind of looks like an abandoned building. Listen, it's been a long time since I've read this.
It's been a long time since I've read it.
It stuck with me so much that it was the first book that I thought of. So spooky vibes, disturbing, dark. There's some mini stories within there because it's a bunch of writers and their perspectives that are going on. And then there's a big twist at the end. So if you like that, if you're looking to start a book from him, this would be a good one during the season to start off with. So he is the writer of Fight Club and Choke and Lullaby and Invisible Monsters, all of those books that we grew up loving. So check that one out.
And his books always have great twists. They always have great twists. So you can come to expect that.
And they're always a thinker. And it's so creepy thinking.
Creepy thinking. Yeah. Okay, so I feel like I need to show you guys because I had my stack and I totally forgot until Ashley showed hers. So if you've seen this cover floating around, this is what Mayfly looks like. It's like the really creepy eyeball cover.
Yeah. The only reason why I haven't bought it is because I don't like the cover, but I need the hardcover I could special order, and then I could take the sleeve off, because the eyeball just freaks me out with the teeth.
Yeah.
Too much.
So my second spooky season suggestion is Pet Sematary.
Ooh.
By Stephen King. Yes. So I am definitely a Stephen King fan. I got into him during the pandemic, actually. I read The Stand, and that kind of got me into stuff. And then I read Pet Sematary, I want to say last Halloween. I think I was reading it around last Halloween. And then I dove into a lot of his stuff. So I read like The Shining and Dr. Sleep and Carrie, and I kind of went down like the rabbit hole. Out of all of his books that I've read so far, Pet Sematary, in my opinion, is the best one. It is just a really great psychological thriller in a lot of ways. And so I feel like lots of times people kind of see the movie version and think that that's what his books are. And I feel like there's usually a lot more to them than what they make them into for like the over dramatized like horror movie version.
Yeah.
And so what I love about Pet Sematary is it kind of really delves into the themes of what we'd be willing to do. Like how far would you be willing to go? What would you be willing to do to bring back the people you love from the dead?
Oh.
Yeah, and so that's what I found really fascinating about it, because it's, the movie makes it very like just kind of creepy, almost like zombie kind of like weird stuff, but that's not really, in my opinion, what's at the core of this story.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Right. You're selling me.
It's great. It's excellent, and it's not too creepy, I don't think, but it does definitely, have some things that could be potentially triggering for people regarding death, so I would look up, some more in-depth trigger warnings if you're concerned about that. But yeah, this was a 5-star read for me, easily.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You got to have a Stephen King one in there. So, perfect. It's great.
Yeah.
He's totally fall vibes right there. I'm going to lighten things up a little bit with a newer read, or more recent read for both Liz and I, and it was Getting It On with Gargoyles. I read it on Kindle, so I'll have to pop a picture up. But, listen, Halloween Town for grown-ups, if you like those vibes of that movie, but not like a weird little kid or anything. Just like those vibes, cute small town, maybe practical magic town, but everybody's nice and not a bunch of jerks because they're all fairy tale creatures. Lighthearted, just epitome of like 90s nostalgia fall vibes, but it's spicy, fantasy, romantasy. There's like a mystery going on, but it's not too in depth. It's just like a quick and easy read, guys. We love it. So
it's very balanced. It like has all of the elements of like something you'd want to read around fall time.
Yeah, and I can't wait to read more.
Me too. Yeah, I've read books 1 and 2, so there's several more. But yeah, I definitely, they're on my list too, but I didn't do them because I had a feeling Ashley was going to do them.
We try to make it spread out for you guys, so we're not repeating a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. So, yes, but I definitely second that. Everyone should read those books by Hazel Mack.
Yeah,
right?
Hazel Mack.
Yep.
And it's the Haven Ever After series, and we'll be screaming it from the rooftops. I think you mentioned it recently on an episode that you felt like you don't have to read them in order, but you can, right?
I've only read books 1 and 2 so far. And yeah, I don't think that you would have to read book 1 to understand book 2. It was useful in a couple ways, but I don't think you'd be lost at all.
But I loved book 1. Like, just to set the picture, they're just a bunch of normies like us. They go on a road trip. They have this special map. They find the secret place. And it's
magical town.
It's magical and it's amazing. So that's what I mean, like Halloween Town vibes, like you're suddenly in this place with all these creatures. So it's so cool. I love it. It was very cute. Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right. What you got?
So my next one delves more into the dark romance zone with Lovely Bad Things by Trisha Wolfe. This is part of a trilogy. So there's also Violent Things and Lovely, why am I forgetting? Wicked Things. Sorry, it's like they all kind of blend together. But Lovely Bad Things is the first one. It is a completed trilogy, which is nice. So if you wanted to binge them, you could. These were all 3 of them 5-star reads for me. I also listened to the audios. The audios were excellent. So basically, this is like dark academia, but it also has like a lot of like cult themes. There's like a murder mystery going on, like serial killer stuff. So yeah, it's a dark romance, but you also have a lot of like it actually very significantly interesting plot that has to do with, yeah, like murder mystery, serial killer. She's a detective trying to or not a detective, but like she examines like forensic evidence. So she's trying to help solve it. And then obviously like she falls in love with one of the suspects. Did he do it? Did he not? And it's very twisty and turny. Yeah. So for anyone who's looking for a dark romance, it's amazing. I highly recommend Lovely Bad Things. Very much. It's at the top of my list, but also it's just got the spooky vibes for Halloween.
Yeah. So sounds like if you maybe used to love true crime or like to listen to those things, might be a good segue into dark romance, right?
I mean,
because with the forensics and everything.
Yeah, like I think if you like thrillers and you like crime stuff, you would definitely enjoy it. However, I would not say that it's necessarily an intro dark romance book because it's very dark.
Okay.
Like on the spicy scale, I think I rated all of them at least a 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I think the last one I might have even rated a 5 spice. Ooh. So just check the TWs and make sure that you're cool with, you know, what might happen in these books. But yeah, I mean, if you like that thriller kind of like horror genre, I think that you'd probably really enjoy these.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going on a limb on this one because full disclaimer, I haven't finished it, but it was totally spooky fall vibes and I'm enjoying it because I'm currently listening to it and I will be purchasing a hardcover and I might switch to that because it's different. Listening to like they're spooky stories, you know? It's more spooky. So I want to like absorb it and I want to read it. So it's called Never Whistle at Night and it's an Indigenous dark fiction anthology. So right now I finished the first short story. They're like basically a collection of short stories from what I can tell so far. And they're a bunch of different short horror stories. And they're based off of a lot of like Indigenous like skinwalker stories. So that's always fascinated me, like listening to people's TikToks of their spooky, what is it called? Like the Rocky Mountain, not the Rocky Mountains. What is Appalachian Mountains? Like the Appalachian Mountains allegedly has a lot of paranormal activity and a lot of Indigenous people have stories that have been passed down through generations. So they call it fiction, you know, but a lot of the stories have been passed down through generations and they're kind of retelling those stories. So yeah, check that out. It's great so far. I'm loving it. And this is the breakdown that they gave me on the line. These wholly original and shiver-inducing tales introduce readers to ghosts, curses, hauntings, monstrous creatures, complex family legacies, desperate deeds, and chilling acts of revenge. So short stories are kind of nice to do sometimes when they're like completely separate from each other because you can just easily pick it up and down throughout the season. So you can be reading, you know, bad, lovely things and wicked stuff, you know, and then, I want to read something spooky right now. So I can finish this, you know, 30-page short story and feel satisfied and feel the vibes, you know, and then go pick up something the next day.
Well, it kind of reminds me of a lot of the podcasts that I like to listen to around this time of year, you know, where it's like they're basically telling scary stories kind of a thing, you know, or like urban legend kind of stories and stuff. I like that a lot. So that sounds really good.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it to you for sure. For sure. The first story is I don't want to give anything away, but check it out. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so my next one is also sticking with the kind of like more dark romance genre, and it is Where's Molly by H.D. Carlton.
Yeah.
So this is a little novella. So this is a spin-off from the Cat and Mouse duet. So Haunting and Hunting Adeline. So like little shout out to that. Those definitely have kind of like a dark, kind of ghosty, like plot that kind of has to do like a little bit with like kind of, gothic ghosty themes.
Yeah.
So those would also be good to read around spooky season, but I'm specifically talking about Where's Molly because I feel like this didn't really get talked about. I mean, the Cat and Mouse duet was like getting talked about so much for so long. Everyone knows about it. Where's Molly is a spinoff of one of the characters that was in book 2 in the Cat and Mouse duet and kind of like what became of her afterwards. And she, without giving too much away, I'll just give very basic information about it. So the reason why I'm recommending it for spooky season is because she is working with an underground agency to basically rid the world of, very bad people. So it's kind of like a vigilante kind of situation. What she does is she owns a pig farm and disposes of the bodies of these bad people.
There you go. Yeah.
So definitely, again, I'm just can't say this enough. Check the trigger warnings. It definitely is really graphic. It's violent. But, the people who are dying are really bad people. Yeah. So, we can feel good about that.
Little Dexter vibes, it sounds like.
Little Dexter vibes. Yeah, kind of like female Dexter vibes. The main character is so cool. I really, really loved her. So, Where's Molly by H.G. Carlton. Quick, spooky read. You do not have to have read The Cat and Mouse Duet to enjoy it. You could enjoy it on its own if you wanted to.
Nice.
For sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got? I got a controversial one for Liz to recommend.
Ooh.
So, full disclaimer, Liz would not recommend this, I don't think, but I sure would. And it's The Coven and The Cursed. I don't have that one yet because it's not physically able to be in your hand until next month. But
yeah. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I didn't put it on this list because it's not one of my favorites, and I knew you'd probably recommend it. But for certain people, I would recommend it. I'm not going to say that it's terrible and I would recommend it to no one. I still it was not that bad. Yeah. It just wasn't one of my top reads.
Listen, I overhyped it to Liz. That was my bad. So I should have went into it saying this: if you want just an easy, witchy kind of dark romance vibes type of read that you're not going to get a ton of real world building. You may have some unanswered questions, but you want some dark romance, then this is a book for you. Dark Academia, or is that how you say it? Academia, there we go.
Yeah.
Dark Academia, but she's of college age or a little bit older even. Yeah. So it's not weird, So it is a spicy level, probably, a 3? For both books?
I think I put it around a 3, if I remember right.
It's hard to say just based off of the books all blended to me together because I read both of them within a week during fall season last year. So that was a big difference. Coming off of high fantasy and a lot of really epic things, this was a good brain break for me that was just simple enough. There's some questions going on, there's some mystery going on, but it's very dark romance, kind of situation, love interests and all that, and spicy scenes. So I like it, and this is my limited edition collection I just got in the mail last week. So pretty in the inside. I only have the Kindle versions otherwise because I think The Cursed comes out in hardback and paperback this month or whatever. So otherwise you can get it on Kindle.
So my last recommendation for you guys for spooky season is the Ruinous Love Trilogy by Brynn Weaver. So obviously book 3 isn't out yet. I loaned out Butcher and Blackbird, so I only have Leather and Lark to show you guys. I listened to the audios of these and they were amazing. Okay, I cannot scream it from the rooftops enough. These men are Irishmen. Take from that what you will. Okay,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So both of the books I would recommend. I personally liked Leather and Lark better than Butcher and Blackbird, which I kind of had an inkling that I would as soon as they introduced. So it's about 3 different brothers. So if you don't know, each book is about a different brother and their love interest. So the first one is about 2 serial killers. The second one, Leather and Lark, which was the one that I really enjoyed, without giving too much away, the main male character is a contract killer. And then the main female character is so she's a singer in a band, but she has a dark side. We'll just say that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so I loved it. Like I said, the audio was great. Highly recommend. And they have those, it's spooky vibes, but they're rom-coms. So they're more lighthearted. So you're dealing with, he's a contract killer, but you're also laughing half the time. So it's just a really great mix. And the reason why I put this in here is not just because it was a 5-star read for me, but also because I feel not everyone loves horror books. Not everyone wants to read things with graphic content. This is graphic, but in a funny way. So I feel a lot of different people can enjoy it.
Yeah. Nice. My last one really shocked me. I read it last year, was not expecting it to be a spooky vibes book, but it totally was. And it's House of Salt and Sorrow by Aaron Craig.
Still haven't read it.
Listen, not spicy, so I want to make sure I clarify that. There is romance involved, but it's not spicy. Like, I dare to say it could be young adult because there's nothing graphic about it, but there is paranormal activity going on. It's a retelling, but I personally didn't know the original story of like these. It's like 12 sisters and they're all dying off or something. It's like an old fairy tale story, whatever. Somebody in the comments can let me know what it is. It's a group of sisters on an island and essentially, they're all dying off one by one. And people are saying they're cursed. So they have to kind of figure out what's going on. And I was pretty shocked to hear about the paranormal activities. Like, just to give you a teaser, one of the sisters is drawing creepy pictures, really graphic pictures of sisters' deaths and things like that, and saying she sees them. So if you want a ghosty, haunted kind of book without spicy scenes in it, then check out this one. There is a very, very fairy tale aspect to it of going to different, I would say realms, but it's not realms. Maybe portals into different parts of the world. So that's interesting.
That's cool.
So, and then the romance is left on a fun cliffhanger that I really want to read the next one, Roots and Ruin, but I have not been able to get around to it yet to see what happens. But it's very twisty at the end, and I did not see it coming.
Love that.
Yeah,
that's been on my TBR since you told me to read it last year.
Yeah, I got it for summer because it was, Salt and Sorrow, a little summer recommendation, I thought. And I was happy that I never got around to it in the summer because I was like, ooh, I have an accidental spooky book. So it's great. It was for fall. So check it out, guys. Check it out. All right, let's go to fall hopefuls. All right, Liz, what do you hope to read this fall? Crow speed.
Here we go. The crow speed. Crow speed be with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first hopeful is Legend by Karina Hale.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Me too.
So,
it's not on my list, but also.
So here's the thing.
Hollow, right? Is Hollow the first one? Or is Legend the first one?
No, so Hollow is the first one. I read that last Halloween. It was so good. Guys, it's like ever since I was a little kid, I've been obsessed with the Headless Horseman. Yeah. Sleepy Hollow, all the retellings of that. And so it's an excellent dark academia, dark romance retelling. Ashley literally has like a pen out. She's like writing down. Are you like taking notes? I love that.
Yes.
Seriously though, like
because I forget about these things. Yeah. I make a billion. I have a billion TBR like lists on my notes that who knows. I keep restarting it. So this is my new one in person.
Just a million Post-it notes, like a serial killer wall. Just covered in Post-it notes of like all the books.
Only. Yeah.
But seriously, if you guys are into Sleepy Hollow, read Hollow. It's so good, and I'm honestly shocked that it has taken me this long to get around to reading Legend because it's been sitting on my nightstand since last Halloween. That's how long it's been there. So my goal is to read this one finally because I loved the other one. That's all I can say. Like, loved the first one, hope to get to the second one. I hope you guys read them. They're great.
Ooh.
All right, what do you got for us? What's your first hopeful?
Okay. The rest of the Haven Ever After series, or at least a couple more if I can get those in. That's the one I mentioned, Getting On with Gargoyles. The next one is Tangling with Trolls. Yep. So I'll be happy if I can at least get one more in because super cozy. Yeah. So that's my hopeful.
And Tangling with Trolls, I mean, I loved that one just as much as the first one. Good. So you have that to look forward to. Yeah. It's
a 6, maybe 7 book, maybe 8. I think the 6th one just came out. Maybe 5th one?
Let's see.
It's a lot.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. The 5th one I got, I have it as an ebook. I think right now it's 6. Maybe the 6th one's about to come out. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. I need to order the 5th one. And
they're less than 300 pages each, I think.
Yeah,
so they're easy, guys. They're easy.
Yeah. And easy on the brain, but still so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So
what's your next one?
Okay. And this is you talk about talk about hopefuls. Okay. So my next hopeful is It by Stephen King. Okay.
Which, who would have thought it was such a thick boy? Jeez.
So look
at that thing. That's bigger than Crescent City.
It is. It is I'm like, why? It's over 1,000 pages, guys.
Oh.
It's 1,000. Oh, this is the acknowledgments. Okay, the actual book itself is 1,153 pages.
Dang.
Okay, so that's why it's a hopeful. However, listen to this. It has a backstory for me.
Yeah.
If you guys have been following me for a while, you probably know. I have never DNF'd a book in my entire life, okay? Literally ever. I've never DNF'd a book that I can recall. Because I just...
The Witches. I think you didn't finish The Witches.
I ended up finishing
you did.
It.
You went back to it. I went back to try to finish it, and I still did it.
I downloaded it on audio, and I listened to it. Because it was the only way I could get through that book. Because I had to host I was the host of the book
It's a historical piece. Yeah, true. Yeah,
so
that was before I was officially in it, so I didn't feel like I needed to finish it.
I had to finish it. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. For any of you guys watching, this pink Post-it right here, this is how far I got I finished of it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Which is halfway through for those listening.
Almost halfway through. It's 455 pages I made it through.
Almost halfway through.
All right. This is what happened. I read, and this was not last Halloween. It was the Halloween before. So we had just moved into our new house in August. Things were a bit chaotic. I needed some, distraction, whatever. So I decided to read it. And made it to page 455, stuck this in my nightstand drawer, literally forgot I was reading it.
Which is crazy.
And the thing that's crazy about it is this book's really good. It's not like it was so boring and I was like, I don't know, whatever. Maybe someday I'll finish it. I was like enjoying it. I was in it. Yeah. I was reading it, and then I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was like work, moving stuff, holiday, you know what I mean? Like holiday season, stuff.
I bet.
I don't know what happened, but it wasn't even like I was thinking in my mind, oh, I got to go back and finish it. It was like it just disappeared from my brain.
Picked up something else later.
Yeah. Literally, I cleaned out. I blacked out. I cleaned out my nightstand, I'd say a good close to a year later, okay? I pull this out, and I'm like, oh my God, I was reading it. Oh my God. Funny. Yeah, and so my goal, I mean, at this point, I have to start from the beginning. Like, it just is what it is. I mean, that...
Really? You're going to start from the beginning?
This is like 2 years ago.
What if you only make it to the same spot again? Oh, no.
I know, but, like, I don't remember what happened. You know what I mean? It was too long.
Look it up.
But, yeah, so my goal is to actually read it in its entirety because it is a good book as far as I read, and I really was enjoying it, and it was just crazy that I DNF'd it completely on accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't consider it a DNF unless you purposely think to yourself, I am done with this. This is the worst.
Yeah, this book is making me into a quitter. I wasn't a quitter before, I am now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so my second hopeful is all freaking 1,000 pages of it by Stephen King. Oof. Yeah, we'll see.
Tall order.
I know.
Tall order. We'll see. Gotta say. Good luck.
Good luck.
All right, my next hopeful is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix.
Yes.
So they've had some popular books lately. So that one, I just love the cover. That's really honestly
it's a cool cover.
Like an 80s nostalgic cover. So I think it'd be a fun read. It's supposed to be humorous as well. So I think that's a fun spooky season one to do. Let me know if you've read it, if it's worth it.
I still have not read any books by Grady Hendrix. I have, let's see, what do I have?
Was it The House? That one was popular recently. Yeah. The House on the...
How to Sell a Haunted House.
There you go. How to Sell a Haunted House. I was trying to decide between those two, and I think I'm like, Best Friend Exorcism seems a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
I heard How to Sell a Haunted House is pretty spooky, so...
I have that one sitting up there, and then I have The Final Girl Support Group, which I've also heard is good. That one's sitting up there, too. I just haven't gotten around to reading them, but yeah. I've heard really good things.
Yeah.
So that's good. Yeah.
Hopefully.
But I have literally no idea what any of them are really about. So that's great. Going into them blind.
Yeah.
So my next one I don't have a visual aid for because this is not on my physical TBR. It is on my TBR because it's part of that 12 months, 12 books, 12 friends challenge.
Yeah.
So shout out to Kelsey Read It. She was the one who suggested that I read this book for October, and it's called The Nightmare Man by J.H. Markert. Yeah, and so I try not to look up too much about these books in advance because I want to go into them with an open mind. All I read was just like the Amazon summary. It's, from what I could tell, it's basically just about this guy who is an author, and then the things in his scary horror book that he's writing start to come true in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds pretty good. But yeah, I've not read anything by this author, and I'm reading it purely because it was part of this challenge. So I'm excited, though, because it sounds very Halloween-y, so it'll be the perfect one to read, like, for my October, part of that challenge.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so the rest of mine have needed adjustments based on your recommendations. I've got my pen out. Okay, so I don't know. Let's talk this out, guys. I think I've never read anything from Stephen King before. I will not be reading it because I know that I will never be able to finish that and all of these other books. So not that one. I had Fairy Tale on here because you and I talked about Buddy reading that. So that was on my list, but then after Pet Sematary, which you've recommended to me before, and when we were talking about it, both my pets had passed away, so I wasn't ready to do it yet. Yeah. But it's been about 2 years now. Maybe I'm ready to dive into that, so we'll consider that. So for my next hopeful is a Stephen King book. Cool. Whether it be Fairy Tale, whether it be Pet Sematary, it's probably going to be one of those two to get me in that vibe and get me introduced into Stephen King without having to commit to over 1,000 pages, or like The Stand is like a bunch of books too, isn't it?
The Stand is only one, but it's long too. Yeah.
I do want to get into it because I really want to get to Gunslinger, whatever that one is, The Dark Towers, because I heard all of his books start becoming connected now.
Ooh, yeah.
So I do want to go down the rabbit hole, but I obviously I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. And I've heard that Dark Tower has some kind of situation with Pet Sematary.
Oh.
So
I didn't know
like maybe characters reappear or worlds. I don't know how his worlds work. I know nothing. I don't even watch his movies. So yeah, I'll start off with one of those.
Yeah. I mean, so Stephen King, for anyone who reads his books, it's like they're just so, even though they're long, they're so
which I don't mind long.
They're so freaking good though. It's like they're easy. Like,
are they fast paced?
They're so fast paced and they're so like easy. You're not digesting like a ton of world building or anything. So it's like they're just page turners. You're just going. And before you know it, you're like, oh, I just read like 300 pages. That's crazy. But yeah, I would definitely say like I think you'd probably appreciate Pet Sematary for what it really is at the core of it.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been wanting to read Fairy Tale too. I've heard it's good.
Okay. Random question, because this came up when I was looking up what Stephen King books I wanted to narrow down. Take a guess at his age. How old is Stephen King?
How old is Stephen King? Maybe 70?
75.
75. Mm-hmm.
And still pumping him out.
Yeah.
Like nobody's business.
Yeah. He's got, the stories that he comes up with, I'm like, dude, the fact that all this stuff is just floating in your brain all the time, like that must be crazy to live in that brain. Crazy. Yeah.
No, you got to get it out. You got to write it down.
It's true.
All right, what's your next one?
So my next one is actually part of a trilogy. So it's the Indian Lake trilogy by Stephen Graham Jones. So most people would probably recognize it at this point. My Heart is a Chainsaw is book 1. So again, I don't know a whole lot about these because I don't want to spoil anything for myself, but I have heard that they're all really good, and it's basically like classic, or at least this is what I have gotten from like the few things I've looked up. It's like classic like 90s 80s slasher movie but a book.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I love that. I'm a huge fan of the Scream franchise. Like I love, that whole I Know What You Did Last Summer vibe. So yeah, these definitely caught my eye at the bookstore, and I wanted to read them last Halloween. Didn't get quite around to it. So now there's 3 of them. When I first picked it up, I think there was only 1. Now there's 3. Great.
That's what happens.
That's what happens. I know. So that's the next one on my hopefuls for this Halloween.
What did this come out last year? Golly. I'm recommending this for this month's book club. Okay,
it's gotten recommended so many times.
Allie Hazelwood, you guys freaking read it. I think half the people in book club has already read it anyways, though. So that's probably why it doesn't get voted. But I need to freaking read this Werewolf Bride book. You guys, tell me I need to read it, or tell me like don't worry about it. It's not good.
I mean,
but I think everybody loved it.
I've heard from everyone that it's like a good, easy read. Like, don't expect the world from it, but I've heard it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, I'm getting like, you know, what? I got Tangling with some trolls. I got some exorcism going on. Maybe some dead pet animals. I don't know. And a werewolf. So I'm really trying to round out my fall Halloween season here. Okay? Yeah. Keep it interesting.
I'm looking at mine and I'm like, I've got serial killer, a clown serial killer, and legend.
You have a type.
And legend, which is Headless Horseman. So
well, Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so my last one is a little bit different. So they're not all just serial killers, guys. Okay, so my last hopeful is called Hide by Kirsten White. You might recognize this cover. I feel like I saw it around a lot. I actually found this at Powell's when we were up in Portland. Nice. So it's basically like, it kind of seems very like Hunger Games, but like regular people in a theme park, in like a haunted theme park.
Oh. Ooh, that's fun.
I know. It sounded kind of like just interesting. Like, I don't know if they're trying to win money, like who can stay alive the longest. I have no idea like what it is, but it sounded really cool. And I just like picked it up when I was book shopping.
Nice.
And it was on my TBR last fall. And so I'm excited to hopefully get around to it. And it's not a doozy. It's like a few hundred pages, you know, it seems like an easy one. So yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so my last one, I got to make a decision here. I have a long list, so I'm gonna bump off my stuff from your recommendations. I want to read Hollow.
I love it.
So I'm making an impromptu decision here because I literally forgot it existed, and I love Headless Horseman too. I want to. So good. It was one of those, like growing up, like it was one of those. I was super scared and freaked out by him, but I was also fascinated. Did I make you watch clips from the Jeff Goldblum Sleepy Hollow version when you were here last?
Yeah.
I didn't. Oh my gosh, I gotta find them for you. They're so bad.
I bet.
We would watch it on repeat because we didn't have cable until I was in like junior high, and so my aunt worked for Universal and would get us like random movies, like movies all the time. So we'd play those things to death, and one of them was Jeff Goldblum Sleepy Hollow. I know there's people out there that have watched it, and it's so like grainy and just and slow and just like 80s 90s films were, and he's great though. So, and then of course I loved the Tim Burton one, Johnny Depp version. Yeah, it was so great. Always, and I would watch that Disney one over and over, the Ichabod, and you know, what is it? Yeah, it'd freak me out, but I would still watch it. You know, you're like fascinated, so you're like, I'm so scared, but I'm watching it anyways. So I'm gonna make a decision. Hollow is the last on my list.
Love it.
But I definitely crossed off stuff and put Mayfly because I forgot I wanted to get around for that.
So good.
But Hollow it is. I'm gonna put that on my top 5.
I mean, I know Mayfly is gonna cringe you out at a few different parts. Yeah, because it's violent. I'm gonna do
the Kindle,
but yeah. But I think it's so good that it's like
it seems like Chuck Palahniuk adjacent enough that I'll stomach through it. Yeah. So I want to, and I'm curious, and I want to read something from that author. So yeah, I like the ideas of it. It's just the horror is hard for me to get through, but sometimes it's all about the season, and then I can do it. Yeah. So
I think it'll be great. And yes, it is. Like for anyone wondering, it's very, very similar. If you like Chuck Palahniuk, C.J. Lee's writing style is very similar in Mayfly. So yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so I have a little note down here that says honorable mention Haven Ever After series. Like we haven't talked about that series in so many podcasts at this point. I know. It's great.
It was just, I think it was one of those things, like I hope we're not overhyping it because it was such a nice surprise for us because that was supposed to ick me out. That was Liz's book ick pick for me and we loved it. So it was like, it's the cover can be a little cheesy, but it's so cute. So know that it's just supposed to be easy on the brain, a nice, cozy time.
Cozy time.
Yeah.
Put you in the Halloween mood vibes. Yeah. Yeah. So should we wrap this up with a smash or pass?
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to hit you with it right now because it's Halloween vibes. Halloween spirit, smash or pass, Michael Myers. We need to know.
I'm going to say pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally the Masked Man thing is like a smash, but there's something about like he's very like lurchy.
Yeah. Lurchy and lurky.
Like, but like not in a good way. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just
the jumpsuit does not do it for me.
Yeah, it's just a little too like The Hills Have Eyes vibes for my taste.
Yeah. But I also want to put it to the people because I know a lot of people are a yes.
I'm sure tons of people are a yes. He's just, his personality, he just doesn't seem like he's got the personality.
He doesn't really have much personality at all.
Yeah, I need more personality.
I never watched the movies, but it's just kind of like what I get from it is like, oh, he just wants to kill her. That's all there is to his personality.
Yeah, I need like, more in-depth, like...
Yeah.
Like, I need more insight into someone's, like, psychotic nature. Like, for me to be into it, you know?
Yeah.
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 Team Ghostface until the end of time. It just is what it is. Okay, so mine is not Halloween related at all, but it popped in my head and I laughed to myself and I was like, all right. Okay, all right. So I'll preface this with, don't make it weird, okay? It's if you were in high school, okay?
Okay.
If you were in high school. Smash or pass, you have to choose one.
Okay.
Napoleon Dynamite or Pedro.
Oh, gross.
But you're in high school. So you're Deb.
Yeah. Okay. So if I was Deb, if I was a horse, okay, if I was Deb, Napoleon Dynamite, or Pedro, I gotta go with Pedro. It's the mouth breathing for me that I can't deal with.
Yeah, I mean, that's rough.
You know?
That's rough.
You know?
Yeah, and he seemed, I don't know, I would go with Pedro too, just because he seems really nice and super sweet and kind of quiet. Napoleon, as much as we love him, he seems a little intense.
Yeah. Like, he's overstimulating in a bad way in that situation.
Yeah.
Too much going on in a not good way. You know?
I totally
You guys get it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Cracked. Oh, and just to go back to it, you're obviously a pass on Michael Myers, right?
Oh, yeah, pass.
Okay, I figured, but I just wanted to make sure
His
that was
face,
clear.
Like, the mask is, like, not scary to me. It's just, like, weird.
Just weird.
Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Stop being weird. And the jumpsuit and the big, Frankenstein shoes, it doesn't...
Frankenstein
There's too much wrong with it.
Yeah, there's too much wrong with it. I agree. Yeah, okay, well, you heard it here first. We're apparently vote for Pedro.
Yeah, vote for Pedro, guys. Vote for Pedro on Saturday in our Smash or Pass polls. We'll put it to you guys. We haven't found a 0% yet, so on one way or another. So I'll be curious. I'll be curious to find out what you guys think. And that's at Besties in the Books podcast on Instagram and TikTok. And while we're talking about that, make sure to follow and subscribe at all the places you like to listen to your favorite podcasts, including YouTube, you guys. Yep. Thank you so much for joining us for this spooky fall Halloween vibe video. I hope we got you in the mood and in the zone if you weren't yet. And let us know what you're going to be reading.
This Halloween.
Send us at least like one fall Halloween recommendation book.
Please.
As if we don't have enough that we are trying to tackle. Let's add some more. Why not?
Why not? Might as well. To make this full circle, we just filmed a Harry Potter episode. If you guys haven't listened to it, we talked about how all the Harry Potter books that ever have been sold would go around the equator 16 times. So that's our TBR. We want enough books from you guys to go around the equator 16 times. So challenge accepted.
Woof. We're in for it.
We're in for
a treat.
All right, guys.
Thank you guys
Thanks
so
again.
much.
We will see you
Bye.
next Tuesday.
Oh, sorry. We'll see you next Tuesday and Friday. We'll see you Friday first because it's Tuesday now. Or whatever day you're listening to this. Listen to us on Tuesdays and Fridays or whenever you get the chance.
And then
we'll be there.
We'll just always be there. Every day.
We'll just always be there for you. I'll be there for you. There we go.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye.